Winter can kill you, whether it's the grid going down or you're stuck on a highway in a blizzard. You need to be ready. But most of the time, you'll just be freezing at your kid's football game and you're grateful for the blanket in your trunk. Today, I'm giving you 5 vital things your vehicle needs when the cold hits, from lifesavers in an emergency to small comforts that make winter sports bearable. These are the same steps I use for my own vehicle every year, and number 4 is the one most people forget until it's too late. Stick around, this isn't just a checklist, this could be the difference between making it home or not. First tip today is the cold weather emergency kit. If you have nothing else on this list, have this. It's like a life insurance policy in a duffel bag. So the things that I put in my cold weather emergency kit is going to be wool blankets or a sleeping bag, depending on which vehicle I'm in. The truck has the sleeping bag, the other ones just have blankets. But the trick is making sure it's rated for cold weather. You're also going to want hat, gloves, extra socks and underwear, the little hand warmers, a small tarp or emergency bivy. You could also just use a $1 poncho from Dollar General. You want a flashlight with some spare batteries or a rechargeable flashlight, and we'll get into that later, and as well as a whistle and some reflective gear. So if you're really stuck or stranded or something like that, you can get people's attention. This stuff is great to have, especially if you get wet and cold, because in cases where you get wet and cold, you could go hypothermic pretty fast. It doesn't have to be that cold. I've seen people get hypothermia or hypothermia symptoms at 50 degrees because they got wet, cold, it's 50 degrees. It was enough to shock their body down into hypothermia temps. Going on to number 2, food and water reserves. Your car isn't a pantry, but if you're stuck on the highway for hours, you're going to wish it was. Some of the things that I keep stored in my vehicle all year round, I have to rotate it out for the warmer months more commonly, but I use sealed water bottles or vacuum sealed pouches, like the water pouches, because they won't burst if they're frozen as long as you leave space in the top of the bottle for air to move, so that way the water can slosh around. You obviously want to avoid plastic if you can, but what's a few microplastics between friends? You're also going to want calorie-dense bars like Cliff, protein bars, the honey waffle stinger things. I'll put a picture up of those, as well as electrolyte powder packets, whether it's like Propel or Gatorade or Liquid IV, whatever your flavor is. Keep those around because those are awesome. You can throw them in there and you don't have to really replace those. They don't really go bad. They might get clumpy if they start getting humid, but keep them in a container. They'll be okay. On to number 3 is a vehicle health checklist. Your blanket isn't going to matter if your car won't start. This is a preventative measure. This is something we're doing now at the end of summer, early fall, and that is getting your battery tested, clean off the terminals of any gunk, having winter grade oil if you live in an area that gets very cold because the oil viscosity matters. You're checking your antifreeze level and making sure it's the correct type. You're topping off windshield washer fluid, making sure it's rated for it has like the de-icer in it. And you're also inspecting your tires, making sure they're still up to par, have good traction. And then if you live in somewhere where you're expecting lots of snow, you're going to want to deflate them. And that's a whole other segue of tire inflation and the best PSI and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into it. But that does push us into our 4th thing, which is traction and recovery. This is the one that people forget most commonly until they are hitting their brakes and not stopping at a stop sign, or they're spinning their wheels in a pile of snow and they've gone off the road now. Best gear to have overall is a shovel, a small bag of sand, salt, or non-clumping kitty litter, and then some kind of strap. Like between all those things, you can get them all for like under $100. Snow chains are great, but I don't even live in an area where you need them because it doesn't snow enough to warrant me buying snow chains. But then another factor is going to be your vehicle's drivetrain. That determines what you need to bring versus what you want to bring. My 4Runner is naturally more capable than my front-wheel drive car, but with properly inflated tires, practice driving in the snow, my front-wheel drive car can get around really fine enough. All right. So tip number 5, power and communications. So because your phone isn't useful to you if it's dead, the number one thing that I have in all of my vehicles is a charging block. These are inexpensive. You can get them for not much money. This is a really great brand. I've used this Goal Zero a bunch, whether it's in the field, at the range, like just doing stuff, whatever. Or I came home from work, didn't charge my phone at work, and my phone's almost dead. I throw it on here or plug it into the car, and I have a fully charged phone all of the time. Literally the other day, my sister was texting me and she was like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come over because my phone's dying. I'm like, bro, plug your phone in. What do you mean? You're in a car. Just plug your phone in. But I guess she didn't have like the 12-volt adapters or whatever, or one of these. And I texted her and told her I have one of these in my car. She can just hang out and wait, but never made it. Whatever. Family's unprepared. I do my best with them. Love them to death. All right, so continuing on the power aspects, obviously having a fully charged power bank is great, but you also need the cords to plug stuff in. Here I have two different types of cords, the USB-C or the USB-C and then the classic iPhone charger because each device has different stuff. Also have a USB-A cord that I keep in my glove box. That's where you should keep this. You don't want to keep it laying out in the sun. You want to put it away so that way it's not in direct sunlight. I also keep a radio because these radios are awesome. They're inexpensive. The batteries last forever. I charge it like once a month. In the winter, I'll have to charge it more because it dies quickly because of the cold. It parasitically drains it, but nerd stuff. Yeah, it has no weather radio. I can also communicate to my friends because we've practiced using comms, surprise, community, practice, doing these things. It all comes together in another Prepared American video. Who would have thought? But then another thing that's like super commonly overlooked that is a little bit more pricey, but so nice to have. Like this thing is hooked up myself and so many people. I'll see them stuck on the side of the road. This little NOCO boost box, NOCO Boost X. It is 1250 amps, and so it is enough to jumpstart most cars and small trucks. They make bigger ones that can jumpstart like diesels and stuff like that, bigger vehicles that require more juice to get started up. But that thing's awesome. I'll have a link to most of this stuff in the description. I do get a small kickback from the Amazon affiliate thing. It's like 2% or whatever. But just so you guys know, full transparency, I would get a little bit of money. It's like a few cents, but I appreciate it regardless. Appreciate you guys, as always. Okay, on to the bonus tip. A med kit. So for starters, having a med kit like this with no training on how to use it could make you more dangerous than helpful. There are things in here that could certainly hurt you if you use them incorrectly. Needle decompressions, nasopharyngeal airways, stuff like that. Like you could hurt somebody if you don't know how to use it. So do not use these things unless you're properly trained, which again takes us back to training. Go get training on these things. Take a basic medical class, basic CPR, things like that. Go out to a wilderness first aid course because they're going to teach you how to stop the bleed. But you don't have to spend $400 for a stop the bleed like TCCC class, which if you know what that means, you know what it means. It's like advanced like combat care kind of things. You don't need that per se. You just need to understand how to put on a tourniquet, how to stop bleeding, and how to call for help. And with this combination of stuff, we can do all of those things. It can get yourself help or get someone else help. Because the odds of you using this over your CCW is much higher. I've used medical equipment so much more than I've used any of my guns in the real world. Like I've never had to shoot at anybody. I'm so glad I haven't. That seems horrible. But like I've never had to do any of that. But I have had to save people's lives with medical equipment for real in real life, and my training paid off. Sorry, I'll show you what's inside the thing, of course. Give you guys a basic overview. My buddy actually sells these. They're awesome. He sells an upgraded version now because he's been doing some tinkering. Super great dude. Might end up selling them in the Another Prepared American store once I get that up and running, along with all the merch and stuff. But yeah, that's the 5+1 things to do to prepare for the winter and the fall. Getting your car and stuff ready. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. It helps the channel. And my question to you is, do you have any of this stuff in your car now? If you do, let me know in the comments. For sure, let me know in the comments. We've been having a really good discourse in the comments lately on the different subjects, whether it's the Radian stuff, whether it's the best EDC gun. Like, love getting to talk with you guys in there. I try to respond to everybody as long as it's, even if it's unintelligent, I don't care. I'll still respond to you. I think those are even more fun. But yeah, that's basically everything. So as always, stay hydrated. Stay strapped. Oh, wrong door. And stay blessed, guys. Thank you. All right, so your must-haves: a fully charged power bank, I don't have my power bank up here. Oh, it's down here. Fuck. Stuff like that. So I'm gonna materialize some stuff real quick. I also put up some video of like food stuff, B-roll.
Chactical chapstick.